Two nights of debates in Detroit, and just like the city's great icon, Joe Louis, there were some punches. Democratic division on full display. So which candidate came out on top? With me now, Democratic Congresswoman Brenda Lawerence of Michigan, who serves on the Appropriations and Oversight Committee. She also represents Detroit. Congresswoman, we appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe.
So it's a big field. You had a lot of people on the stage. Are you ready to endorse any of the candidates?
You know, I watched the debate last night, and I have a criteria. I'm looking for someone who has a command of the issue, someone who has the tenacity and the strength and courage to fight Donald Trump. And I'm also looking for someone who has compassion for this country. And I feel very strongly about endorsing Senator Harris. This is a time in our country where we must move forward. We are going to have the fight for the soul of our country, and I feel Senator Harris has that tenacity, the courage, and the compassion to be able to win this race.
Well, that's news there here on this program. Congresswoman Lawerence endorsing Senator Kamala Harris. Let me ask you this, because so far polling among likely Democratic voters shows that they believe that the former Vice President Joe Biden has the best chance to beat Donald Trump, and they will often list that as their number one concern, really, in this election, above other issues, is winning back the White House, defeating President Trump. Why do you think that is? They see Biden as opposed to Harris as most likely to win.
This is a democracy, and we all choose the people that we feel are the best for that seat. As we know, Vice President Biden has had a tremendous career. He has shown leadership in so many ways. But for at this time and for this race, I feel that Senator Harris has the ability, the tenacity, the strength, and the compassion, the vision to be able to move this country forward and win the race, which is very important to me.
As you know, very important to voters as well, really the issue of health care. And Biden and Harris had something of a tense exchange last night. Biden making the point that Medicare for all does, in effect, have a tax in that there will be a deduction from people's salary. That's the deductible, as he was phrasing it there. I have to say, I watched Senator Harris on our own channel this morning explain her answer on the issue of employer-based plans that remain very popular among many Democratic voters. And I was confused. Can you explain clearly what the senator's position is on health care reform?
Her position is that we must have choice. It's been clear. She's talked to the citizens of this great country, and they are clear. They want a choice to have a private plan or to participate in a Medicare for all plan. She also found that they want to be able to have lower costs when it comes to x-rays, prescription drugs, and those things, and her plan includes that. And the other thing, fundamentally, everyone feels that the choice of health care is a human right. She has presented a plan. And so it is one that we're moving forward with. I'm excited about it because it does have that element of choice, which is important to me. Unlike some of the other plans that does not give choice, it puts everyone on that same plan.
It doesn't really have the choice that many Americans want, which is to keep their employer-based plan. I hear her argument. She talks about portability, so it's not tied to employment. But frankly, you know, people get comfortable with their health care. And if they like, as tens of millions of Americans do, their employer-based plan, and then they're told, well, that's going to change, they're not going to like that. How does Senator Harris win over voters on that question?
She's been very clear that there is going to be a phase-in program. This will not be done overnight, and there will be choice. I am repeating, there will be choice in the senator's plan.
Okay. Final question, if I can. I don't have to tell you how the Michigan economy has thrived under President Trump. Michigan, of course, went Trump's way by a relatively small number of votes in 2016. But the economy's been strong since then. I wonder how you explain to voters, how a Democratic candidate explains to voters in Michigan that 2020 is the time to change.
Let's be very clear. Detroit, the city I represent, is the second highest in poverty in this country. So when you talk about the employment rate, the people who are working poor in Michigan and in the Detroit area is a living reality that people may have a job, but they are still classified as living in poverty. We are seeing plants close. We've also seen some plants open. So we are living in this volatile environment right now of losing a job, hoping to get a job in the new factory, understanding that the workforce is changing. There's a skilled workforce that is happening with jobs. And we see people coming into Detroit and into Michigan, not necessarily employing those who live here. We still have challenges. I'm grateful. I have a stock portfolio. I will tell you, my stock portfolio is doing well. But when I look at the people that I represent, people all over this country, be clear, everyone in this country, it must be included in this economic resurgence, and that is not a reality. And that's where Trump is not hitting a home run.
I hear you. You're right. Only about half of Americans are invested in the stock market. Congresswoman Lawerence, we appreciate you joining the broadcast this morning.